So just wait for people to come through as usual. Before I start talking, what's up? I wanted to go live, get more in depth, because I've been hearing a lot of people say that they're watching my video and then like midway through the video would cut off. What's good, everybody coming in? The video would cut off and basically like malfunction or do some crazy shit like that. Now, for the people that are in here, if you guys want to go out and share and tell people, yo, I'm doing this live, hopefully they'll start to roll in and get on it. Happy birthday to you, Lilu51. Happy birthday. But I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things, like, because I kept feeling like, you know, I got so many people responding to me in my inbox, like they're, you know, really into the reading and everything, but there was like some crazy stuff happening with the video. I can see the video personally. I uploaded the video. The video plays out just fine for me, strangely enough. But for other people, during certain sections, it will just like not work. I believe certain people made it clear, like probably halfway through, they couldn't see it anymore. Certain parts to where when I was speaking on ski, that's when it started to cut out. Someone else said that when I was speaking about him being in the limo, it would cut off at that point. So I'm not too sure. I don't know. It would just error out at specific times, for whatever reason. And hopefully that will be fixed. But I wanted to see if anyone had any questions, but at the same time too, just kind of clarify a couple of things, so that way people can kind of see like what, you know, kind of understand what I was speaking on or possibly what they've missed in general, and just focus on those things basically. So someone was asking me what else was I saying about like his skin, basically, just talking about like the clamminess of his skin when I saw that picture of him like in the back of a limo, and he just looked very drained, you know. Someone sent me a link, funny enough, of another medium, and they were able to kind of get their video out all the way through. But they just confirmed everything that I've already said. They were talking about how this was a setup. Somebody laced his drink. Someone just sent me, I believe, like something online talking about someone knows certain specific situations and talking about how his drink was laced. But they were saying that they didn't want to get involved or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the internet, so who knows what is true. But, you know, in due time, things will, you know, basically push forward, and that the truth will have to come out. Like, they can't hide it forever. And it's just funny because, like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird, like, how this whole thing went down. And I think I was getting emotional, I believe, after the part where someone was talking about how the video got cut off when it got to the point of speaking about the limo, because I was about to get like really upset and start to like really cry and get upset for this guy, because Juice, he basically was being drained. He was tired. He was going through a lot of different physical changes, like emotional changes, and it was just very off to me. And there's now reports saying, you know, oh, you know, this whole situation with like perks and everything, and so he took perks and that's how he overdosed, or whatever the situation is, or unknown pills or whatever. And it's like, I need to know from you guys, do you guys like really believe that? Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that he would be the one to take a whole bunch of perks and basically risk his life to hide drugs from the police if there's already marijuana on his plane? Like, I mean, he's coming from LA. Like, come on. Like, okay, so someone says, Historic Wolf says he had 70 pounds of weed, handguns, and codeine on the plane, so the pilot told the feds, and they said he swallowed a bunch of perks allegedly. No, but I don't believe that. Of course, 70 pounds of fucking weed. I mean, honestly, I'm not really that surprised. Like, I'm sure rappers like Snoop Dogg carry 200 pounds of weed wherever the fuck he goes around the country if he feels like it. So I'm not really tripping on that. Like, it's just weed. Honestly, I think it should just be legal all statewide and get it over with at this point. But I'm not really too surprised about that. Like, and then who's this pilot? You know what I'm saying? Who are these people? Who are the people on the crew? Like, as far as like who are, you know, serving the people, the guests on the plane, who are they? Who are these people? Who are the people around him? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems very off to me. And I'm sorry, I'm sticking to it. I'm not changing my fucking story. I just don't believe that it's a situation to where this is something that he induced upon himself. I'm just going to say it like that. What's good, y'all? And a lot of people feel like it's a setup. Again, like, I'm not the only person saying this. Like, there's a big someone, I believe it was Trina or Dawn sent me, I think you both sent me a link in regards to Psychic Raymond. If you guys go check him out, like I said, he's a medium, and he's saying the same thing. Somebody laced his fucking drink, and this is an industry situation, and someone took advantage of him, and there were contractual disagreements. He's saying every fucking thing that I'm saying. I think I'm getting a little bit more in depth about specific things or specific, I guess, friends or, you know, relationships, you know, behind the scenes that he had around him. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let's see. There's a video of him and friends on a plane before it landed. Yeah, I did see that. And, you know, like I said, like, what is the whole purpose? Like, I understand, like, there's a purpose of trying to put out video, to kind of like ease the people and to, you know, see Juicewrld happy before he died, I guess. And I understand, like, you know, that's something that the fans or, you know, different people would want to see. But I just kind of feel like it's too convenient. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's too fucking convenient, and it just don't make no fucking sense to me, personally. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't feel right. It just don't make no sense, because, and I'm sure someone has footage filming all the fucking time, because, you know, what if certain people know what's going to happen and they want to save that footage for later, or, you know, whatever. But even like on the, you know, where the cameras in the airport, you know what I'm saying? Like, where are the cameras in the airport showing him having a seizure or showing him taking these alleged pills before getting off of the plane? And it looked like he landed in Chicago and they were filming and everything was fine. So at which point did this, all of this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, when did all that happen? To hide something that's really happening indeed. So like I said, getting back to the friends, getting back to people who were kind of around him. And again, Psychic Raymond confirmed a lot of shit that I've already said. You know, and he said this to me. He was like, look, they're censoring a lot of psychics out here, so you have to be very careful. He commented and responded to me, and I appreciate him for doing that, because he has, like, you know, 28,000 subscribers in comparison to my little 5, but, you know, I'm grateful for them. But it's just the fact that, you know, people do a lot of, you know, say sincere things to really prove a point. Like, again, getting back to people who are like friends or around him, there are a lot of yes people, like, Raymond confirmed that I've already said, like, a lot of yes people, a lot of people pulling him in two different directions. Like, most people were just kind of like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do me, I'm gonna do this. But you have to understand that they kind of use his name for influences. I don't believe that, like, how can I say it? It's not to say that he wouldn't have weed on the plane. I think that that would be something that he would probably gear his own emotional responses towards, other than doing other heavier things. Now, if other people have like perks and they got like codeine and all this other shit on the fucking plane, why is that all being placed on him? Can somebody help me understand that? Like, why is that all being placed on him? Like, he was the one that bought perks or that bought all these things. I don't really believe that that's the case. I believe that certain people bought those heavier items on the plane for their own personal habit. And I think that he was doing his best to stay away from that. Now, I swear to God, if they ever find cocaine on that plane or on anybody else's possession, I'm letting it be known that don't belong to him. And I'm going to say it like this. I feel like I do know who it belongs to. And I feel primarily I'm hearing two people, like, yeah, it's his friends using him as a mule. Isn't that something? He was doing so much for the community too, especially with men, with 100 Men program. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. But it's a situation to where you look at this and it's just like, okay, so y'all trying to tell me that in one direction, he's trying to get his life together. He's trying to change his life, and he knows that it's important to get his shit together because he doesn't want to go down that dark path. You understand? I feel like he was trying to stay away from it, indeed. And he said that he was getting clean. Everybody's kind of, like I said, yeah, I didn't know much about him, but I just kind of get the energy, and I felt like that wasn't his purpose. You understand? Like, he wasn't trying to intentionally do anything to harm himself. He's not that type of person. Like, I just kind of get the feeling like he would go through a lot of different shit, he just went through a lot of different stuff, and he's a very nice guy. Like, he's a very sweet guy. And he wants to make the people around him happy. That's important to him. He wants to make specific people, around him happy, but at the same time too, he's like, I'm not really trying to get into all that bullshit. Basically, I'm not trying to get into all of these heavy things. Hi, Rain. I'm not trying to get into all this heavy shit because it's not me. It doesn't feel good anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just keep hearing him say it's not me. It just don't feel good. And, they fucked him over, dude. Like, that's just how I feel. They fucked him over. And I feel like it's a situation to where it's dealing with people who can't really make specific agreements about money, money, contractual things. And maybe he was due to re-sign. Maybe he was due to renegotiate. Maybe he had a specific stipulation in his contract to when he reaches a certain point, people get more percentages, people get more rights, and he's fighting for those specific rights. And I just kind of feel like there's just something really off about, like, management, and also like just execs and management. Like, those are the two things that are jumping out to me. And another thing too, I found out when certain people's birthdays were, when Shorty's birthday was and everything. And the thing that's interesting was, like, when I was first doing the reading, he was kind of like showing me this page of swords, and she was reversed. She was reversed, and I was just like, okay, like, I wonder what the fuck that's about. And usually, like, when I see the page of swords in reverse, it is an indication that basically there's a situation to where someone is acting as a spy. I ain't gonna say no names and nothing. I'm just kind of like, You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just keep it funky. Like, I mean, like I said, everything's gonna look all peachy and pretty in the media and everything like that, but I'm gonna keep it real fucking funky. Usually I like to speak good things on people, and it's not to say that maybe Shorty was like, yo, you know, you need to change and stuff. I'm sure that's a thing. It's just that I feel like there's some sort of contradiction. Like, there's like a huge contradiction in what is actually like. It's like, practice what you preach. That's why I keep hearing, practice what the fuck you preach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you telling somebody, yo, get off the lean, get off the pills or whatever it is, but if somebody turning around and they doing a line in front of your fucking face, can you really say that? um I like him. He's really cool. It's just kind of crazy because, you know, he's very blunt and he's very honest about shit. He doesn't like to, he doesn't want to hide anything anymore. Like, and I just keep feeling like, you know, people were trying to avoid talking about this subject or talking about what happened, you know, with this situation because they're trying to demonize him, dude. And like I said, keep in mind, you know, this nigga did put out a track. Funny enough, he put out a track talking about, you know, the whole baby situation with Drake and all this other crazy stuff, and kind of putting, again, his tribute out to this dude, right? You guys see him? Putting his tribute out to that dude. And now we see a year later that he's gone. That kind of doesn't make any fucking sense to me at this fucking point. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Seizure-like behavior, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't mean to, like, focus on this too much, but it's just like, it's just crazy, like, kind of seeing that seizure like behavior. Like, certain things you just can't get out of your fucking head, especially given the fact that Ja passed in the way that he did. It's just like, where the fuck are the convulsions coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then you see other, you know, rappers talking about, oh yeah, you know, fentanyl, and, you know, rest in peace to Pete and Ja, and, you know, it's fucked up, you know, with the whole fentanyl situation that's going on in the country and everything like that. And it's just like, why would you mention that? Because Ja was definitely not one of them type of niggas. He was not really into pills like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, Ja was very much experimental. I ain't gonna say specifically what it is, but I'm not gonna say that it's like some crazy hard shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's very into like a lot of spiritual things. I'll just say it like that. He's very much into things that will open up your consciousness, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna get into detail because he don't want me to get into detail about it, and I'm gonna respect that. So, but I just don't think that Juice he wasn't stupid. Ja only vaped and drank wine. Yeah, on camera. Anyway, but he didn't. It wasn't like it's an addictive thing. You understand? That's not his personality at all. If he wanted to try something, he's going to try something, experiment with it, meditate on it, do different things like that. But that's all I'm going to try to say. You understand? Like I said, because people feel some sort of way about, you know, things that alter your consciousness that are good for you on some level and that give you spiritual awakening. You know, but I believe, like I said, I'm going to say this to everybody. Like, if you ever go to South America, like, try ayahuasca, or, you know, try shrooms. Don't say anybody. But, like, open up your consciousness, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it helps you to get identified with your spirit, basically, and it opens you up to spirit to see the traumatic wounds that you need to heal within yourself. And I think that's kind of like, you know, that's kind of the purpose, is to kind of get you to open up your mind and see what you have to heal, or what ancestors have to say to you. And some people don't need it. Some people meditate. Some people smoke weed. I smoke weed. You know, whatever. Or did, whatever. But, you know, it opens up your mind. Whatever gets you to relax and open up your mind a bit more, it helps you to understand a little bit. Like, jump in the lake and being interesting. Did you guys see the post of him saying he's not dead? No, I did not see that. Let's see. The video was a month or so ago. I'm trying to see everybody's comments because it seems like everybody's like saying a couple of different things. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like I said, getting back to specific shit. Everybody's not. Everything is not what it seems to be. Don't really like believe everything that people are saying to you. Everything is not what it seems to be. And they are trying to censor people like myself to not to speak on specific situations. And I find it to be kind of fucked up and strange. You know what I'm saying? That everything has to be orchestrated and planned to where it has to fit the narrative for the media. You understand? Like they have to fit the same narrative. And it's just kind of fucked up. You know, like they have to control every aspect of what is going on. And it's just kind of strange, like how much control the media is attempting to have over the situation to make him look faulty as much as possible in this particular manner. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's all 100% up to him. I just kind of feel like for him, it's a situation where, again, disagreements with management and money, disagreements with label conversations, because I just keep feeling like he was up to renew or re-sign or to do something like that. And they were trying to negotiate. Like, they're just like, you know, this is what we're offering. Like, you know, just kind of like shoving it down his fucking throat. And it's like kind of like sidestepping specific situations to where like they're like making threats or saying specific things to get him to sign a contract that he didn't feel comfortable with. Like, he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about this shit, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could just take my little fucking money that I'm making from these albums or whatever it is and just basically flip it and, you know, just be independent, because I could take all of that shit with me. That's a big, you understand, that becomes a big problem. They don't want you to do all that. I will check my DMs, hun, after I do the video. But they don't want you to do that. They want to, you have all this attention, you have, you know, all this success that's coming to you and people are aware of you, whether if they follow you or not. And that's money. You understand? Like, they're looking at specific situations as collateral, like I said before. And they don't want people to really talk about different situations like that on the internet, because why is it that everybody else's video plays just fine, but mine, it airs all the way out? Because I'm not the type of person that's going to be shallow about what I'm saying to you. I'm going to get in depth with you. I'm going to tell y'all what the fuck time it is when y'all do readings for me personally, or just in general. Like, that's just kind of the person that I am. I get really direct, straight to the point, and I don't fucking sugarcoat shit. That's my style. Do you know if he's okay or having updates on his feelings? You know, okay, well, I just heard he's like, I'm cool, man. Like, I'm chilling. Like, it's a rough, you know, it's rough. Like, it's a transitional period. You understand? But he's like, it's like, I kind of feel like a warm energy behind me. Like, he's sitting in this chair behind me and he's just chilling. Like, he's chilling. You don't understand what I'm saying? Like, he's not, it ain't no pressure. Basically, like, it's no fucking pressure. He just wants the truth to come out, because that's where he's gonna find his healing. There's times where he gets upset, you know, you understand what I'm saying? But this is a situation to where I think that when it comes down to Ja, and Ja's very telepathic and very you know, aware of his energy, and so he's just like, look, learn something from what I learned, okay? Do your best not to be too responsive to this shit. Like, and when I say that, like, I mean, like, getting upset or angry or anything like that. Just don't be responsive. Just tell, it's kind of like, just tell what happened. Just say what happened. Because I know the last video, he was getting really upset. Like, they won't let me sleep. They won't let me sleep. Towards the end of the video, I kept saying that over and over again. They wouldn't let him sleep. Like, they just kept him up. They kept him working. They just kept spiritually attacking him. And it seems like, I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like as soon as I was saying something like that, yeah, they was fucking with my video. So, I'm going to figure out another way to get that video together and see if I can upload it through another area. And I don't know, hopefully you guys can see it, and I'll try to figure that out with what's going on. But I just kind of feel like if they're cutting my shit out, I might just only keep it on Patreon and then have certain people just kind of like go check it out or whatever it is, because I must be saying some real shit. If the feds don't want y'all to know, if they airing out that shit, man. But anyway, it's just kind of crazy. People feel like joining. Y'all can go ahead and join if you guys want to talk about this. But I just feel like, again, people around him there were a lot of yes people. There were a lot of people that were just kind of like, oh, just kind of sit back, enjoy the party. Oh, okay. So if you watch the video online without the app, it works. So you guys can see the video. Thank you for telling me that, Corrupt. If you guys want to see my video, watch it on your TV, plug it in, do whatever. It seems to be working fine. So I guess maybe it's just the app. It seems like Juice hesitated when Adam22 asked if his label was overworking him. You don't say. Send me that video. The reading was very real. Thank you, Maya. I know I probably sound dumb, but did him and Ja unite? No, it's not a dumb thing to say. I think that regardless of what it is, there's always going to be a connection between him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of love and support when Ja initially passed, and there's just a lot of reciprocated love, given the fact that he didn't let Ja stand alone in his truth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the ultimate respect that that Juice could give him, like, you know what I'm saying, like, to kind of like ride for him, because a lot of people in the industry real fucking fake, you understand? And he at least like put some shit in some fucking music. And if you notice, somebody sent me some shit too about Drake, talking about, oh, it's such a shame that people pass from overdoses and different things like that. And how is it that he was able to know what was going on before it was released out into the media, or anything was confirmed in the media whatsoever? I don't trust Adam, to be honest. I don't blame you, girl. Let's see. It's just crazy. Like, he knew specific situations before it even came out into the media. Like, oh, another rapper lost to drugs. And again, it's just all a fucking fucked up cover up, dude, in my opinion. But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just kind of weird. I just don't really buy it. I don't think a lot of people buy it. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys buy that shit? Do you guys believe what is being put out there? Because see, sometimes I tell people all the time, you guys can look at things in the media, okay? Everybody's going to look at shit in the media, but there's going to be like something intuitively inside of you that tells you, like, yo, there's something going on. You know what I'm saying? There's something else going on. You want me to expand on Uzi? Uzi's like very shut the fuck down. I feel like Uzi done kicked out everybody from his space, because he's fucking paranoid, dude. This shit made him really fucking paranoid. Like, and I really don't feel like Uzi's the type to like really do anything crazy. Maybe he might drink, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I really don't feel like he's that type of nigga. So if anything comes out about him, about like pills and lean and bullshit, man, I don't want to wish nothing on him. I want him to have a very prosperous, long life. I want that for him. But I do feel like he's just fucking paranoid. Like, damn, like, what the fuck they gonna do to me if I don't continue to follow the objective? You understand? Even in that video too, I said, yo, Trippy's up next. Trippy's up next. I kept hearing Trippy's up next, and I kept thinking maybe it could be because he's next in line to kind of follow the agenda and the protocol of what they're trying to do to the youth or whatever. But it's just rough. It's a rough situation, because you see all these people, you know, either in jail or they're dead. And it's just like, And he's kind of looking at his life like, damn, where the fuck am I going? Because, you know, I thought this is all fun and games and it's all industry and shit like that. And, you know, he loves being extravagant and being, you know, extra in his creativity. And don't get me wrong, he's very talented, but at the same time too, I don't think that he was really doing a lot of deep soul searching when it came down to the industry. That's all I'm saying. Everybody wanted to get money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to get money. But then when you're kind of getting money, it's all fun in the beginning. And then things get more serious. You understand? Like, things get way more heavy and more serious. And it makes you really reflect on what's really important and the burden that you have to carry to keep the message going. Trippy is going down a really interesting path because he'll gain a lot of success for what he has coming up for him. But at the same time too, he's like trying to fade, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't want him to turn into a situation to where he's doing specific things to kind of just fade the fuck out. Like, does that make sense? Like, I hope I'm making sense to people. Like, I just don't want him to, you know, he's smoking his weed, whatever, but it's just a situation where I just get a little concerned for him. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Not to get into that heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want him to run himself ragged. Yeah, I haven't seen the artwork. I don't pay attention to specific energies for good reasons. But you know, he has a protocol to run. There's no turning back. You understand? Like, there's no turning back from specific situations. Once you're in, you're locked the fuck in, and you have to meet that objective or else. Like, that's just kind of what it is. And I just kind of feel like I said, for Uzi, like, I just feel for him, man. Like, I just kind of feel like that nigga probably about to get on a plane and just, this is a fuck up here, G. Like, like, for real. He's probably just gonna disappear, like, fuck this shit. Like, honestly, I just kind of feel like he's not with the shits. He's not with this shit anymore. I just kind of feel like he's like, for real, like, he wants to be there, but I swear, it's like, I kind of see him packing up a fucking bag, like, yo, I'm gonna be in motherfucking Sri Lanka for all the fuck I care, but y'all niggas ain't gonna find me. Like, like, y'all are not gonna motherfucking find me with that bullshit. Like, that's just the energy that I keep getting. I see a pic of Ja. I bet he peeking. He always peeking. See, there you go, Mr. Peeker. That's why I keep him behind me, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, I might as well get this painting. Like, this painting is gorgeous. It was retailed for like $600, and I got a great deal on it. I'm gonna just say that. And it's the original artwork by, I think it's Duga. If you see it, Duga right there. So yeah, it's a beautiful piece, and he's always like spying on me anyway. So I'm just like, well, fuck it. Might as well just buy a painting of you just staring at my ass or just staring at me. So let's just get it over with. So that way you always got eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? He always has eyes on me. So he's always watching me. He's always looking out for me. He's always taking care of me, you know? And I appreciate him for that. I do. And I said, like, look, I want to talk about this thing with Juice. Like, is it okay if I do that? The boobs, you're funny. Is it okay if I do that? Because I don't want to be disrespectful or whatever the situation is. And he was like, yeah, of course. Like, and it's just like, I want Juice's blessing. I asked for his blessing. I asked for Ja's blessing. And like I said, when I sat down and I was about to do the reading, it just, like, I saw this image of like his silhouette, like just kind of outlined standing next to me. He's like, I'm ready. You know, it's like very unfiltered with me. Like, that's why I can just kind of go on like these tangents and like talk forever, because it's just energy kind of coming through me. And then I need to like stop and be like, oh my God, I got to breathe, you know, like, or I have to like kind of catch my breath because I'm going so like on a tangent, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like running. The energy's kind of running me like a motor. And like I said, it's just fucked up because, like I said, they wouldn't let him sleep. They wouldn't let him like just kind of get rest. And I'm talking about like if he wanted to fall asleep and he's tired, let's just say he fell asleep and took a nap. It's just like you go to sleep and then there's just some energy around you and you don't feel comfortable. He was just very out of touch, not very comfortable in his space. And it's just kind of fucked up. So, you know, it's a little crazy. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Let me see. It doesn't look like a lot of people are saying, let me see. That's true. You got to stop, take a second and sip a little something. True. Honestly, I feel like I want some water right now. So let me just get up really quick. Queen, you have experienced chest pain when someone dies. If so, what does that mean? It happens to me. Interesting. Usually it's just like I said, chest pains, like it usually means like heart attack or something related to the heart, primarily. So that's just kind of, what I'm feeling when it comes down to that. But, you know, don't believe everything that y'all motherfuckers see out there. Okay. Don't believe everything y'all see out there. They want to create a narrative. They want to create a tragedy story. They want to create something that, and I'm not saying that he's perfect. You understand? Like, you know, everybody has their shits. Everybody has their days. But I think he was really working really hard to get it together and not be in that space anymore because he wanted a family. He wanted to have something that was more sustainable in his life, even though he was living a very hectic life, a very complicated life, you know, like being an entertainer. It's not the easiest situation to be in. And I feel like people aren't taking Juicewrld seriously. Of course, and you know, that's the fucked up thing. That's another thing too. Someone was saying to me, they were talking about, hold on one second, let me just have a sip. They were talking about how there was like something on TikTok, right? So they were talking about TikTok and basically saying how there was like something, a viral video on TikTok. And how did it go again? Basically, it's like these kids, they're like playing a Juicewrld song, and then like, I don't know if it's Lucid Dreams or what, but one of his songs, and they're drinking water and then having like convulsions while they're dancing all of a sudden and shaking and doing all this crazy shit. And then this is like right before he dies, and it's just like, who the fuck are these people? Who told them to do this shit? And why are you doing it? You like, for what how is this a fucking trend and how is this acceptable? And why is this all over the fucking internet? It's the most disrespectful fucking thing ever. Like, how can you be so insensitive and disrespectful? And it's very blatant. You know what I mean? To me, yeah, that like dancing and doing a whole fake seizure type of thing, like that's just so fucked up. Like, why is that acceptable for people to do? It's just fucked up. I did watch the Ghost Box reading. I did watch all of that, and yeah, Huff. I feel like Huff does a lot of safe shit. I'm just gonna say that. You know, I appreciate his spirit box things. I appreciate little things like that. But I just kind of get the feeling that, like, when it comes down to Huff, it's very safe. Like, the messages are safe. And that's his route. And I'm not trying to knock him for that. You know, maybe that's just all that they have to say. But I just kind of feel like when it comes down to heavier artillery types of things, that's the purpose of having like real psychics. You know what I'm saying? Like people that will just be that voice and be that people just kind of how can I say it? We just express ourselves. You know, there's no filter. There's nothing. It's just raw. It's just human. There's no, you know, nothing behind it. Because I'm a spirit, they're a spirit. They're touching me. They say how they feel, or they push their energy through me to connect to what it is that they want to say, and that's just what it is. Like, first thought that when it came to mind, it makes challenging to pretend that a seizure, to have a seizure. Yeah, that's serious and it's fucked up because it can happen at any time, and people have seizures just from specific videos and light exposure and music videos and things like that, and it's kind of really fucked up. And I know someone was saying like, oh, in the spirit box thing, it sounded like X was in it too. And I could have swore I heard his voice from time to time, but I think he was just like, he's a sweet guy. He acts as a sweet, very nice conduit, if that makes sense, to kind of strengthen the energy. It's like, kind of imagine like this. For me personally, I don't know about that whole spirit box thing, but I'm gonna say it like this. For me, it's a situation to where it's like, if Ja is comfortable with me, and he and Juice feel comfortable with Ja, the energy just amplifies. It's kind of like Ja's touching me on my shoulder, and this man is touching on Ja's shoulder, and basically he's expressing what is going on with him, and then I can just kind of like process through that, because I can kind of like filter, even if it's a direct connection between me and him, but he needs to feel comfortable. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes spirit needs to be comfortable. A lot of people wanted me to talk about Mac Miller around the time that he died, but I was really focused on Ja at the time, and Mac was not in the fucking mood to talk, and I left Mac alone. Ja was trying to help Mac like just kind of get out of this limbo space, like this dark purgatory, if that makes sense, and he was not in the fucking mood to really talk about anything, because the whole situation surrounding him was really fucked up. Like, and again, that's what Juice was saying to me too. He was like, yo, it's kind of, this shit is similar to what happened to Mac happened to me. Like, he just kept saying, what happened to Mac happened to me, bro. Like, like, that's just what it is. What happened to Mac happened to me. And that's kind of how he put it. And yes, he did get out of limbo. He's no longer in that heavy space because the truth is being lifted, but there's one thing about Mac that he's saying that he's not happy about. He's saying that, again, he's like foot soldiers. They're only looking after the foot soldiers that made this shit happen. You understand? Like, but they're not talking about who's really responsible. And that seems to be the connection, is that the people who are supposed to be responsible for all this shit, they're never going to be responsible. They're never going to be taken down or taken out for what they've done. Because guess what? Like, until people kind of put their money together and form as one billionaire, even though there's 1,000 people or hundreds of people or however many people that are coming together to make that happen, to have an associated power over what's being said or what's happening in order to by law enforcement or by specific media outlets, they want you to be defenseless, and that's the whole purpose of ego. And sometimes it's very difficult for people to get out of that. But they, at the same time too, even when you're in spirit, like, that shit doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter anymore. All that shit don't fucking matter. You're just gonna say what the fuck you want to say. Basically, like, you're gonna say what you want to say. Nobody's gonna stop you. You're no longer bound and tied to all this bullshit, that you have to deal with in this physical reality. And you say what the fuck you want to say, and that's just kind of what it is. And that's kind of how they feel. I think, like I said, he's a little lighter, and he's kind of, the thing with Mac, I just kind of see him laughing a lot. So he's laughing a lot more, and he's pointing at the people that tried to fuck him over, and he's not done. You have to understand, these men are very powerful. Just because a lot of people don't see things that are happening right now, that doesn't mean, because I see all these niggas sitting at a round table like, okay, who in the industry was fucked up? Who in the industry did this? Who did that? And they're all collectively working together to express how they feel and tell the truth and to express what's going on. So they're not shy. All of these people are doing is just creating a more stronger force for these people to kind of attack on a different level. And they don't realize that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're taking these guys out, but they don't realize that they're just making them stronger. Are you going to explain more about the whole Kurt Cobain thing you said on one of your videos? Yes, Kurt Cobain is very strong. Kurt Cobain, I'm going to tell you really quick. I'm jumping into a lot of shit. I'm going to do a video about this. Kurt Cobain likes to set shit on fire. He's like, don't say anymore. He's like giving me like this very like serious look. So I'm like not gonna say I'm not gonna say anymore. He's like, don't say anymore until I do like a channeled session for him, because he's like he has like this very like he doesn't like to see himself like as a godly presence, but he's very reserved in his own right to have his own video. You understand? So I'm gonna get into that later. So I don't want to piss him off, please. I don't want to piss him off. So I'm gonna just leave him alone, and I'm gonna get into another reading specifically for Kurt on a completely different time, and get more into details about that, and talk about some heavy shit. And again, hopefully my video will upload, and hopefully it will work just fine. But it's just a situation like I have to be very mindful of the certain things that I say, because apparently, like I said, they're airing out my video. But at the same time too, if you watch the video, I guess on TV or on the computer or something else, I'm assuming, other than the app, you can see the video just fine. So maybe if you guys type in the actual link or copy the link, or see if you guys can search on YouTube to kind of get that information, you guys can click on the link and get to the video without having it air, apparently. But like I said, I just kind of find it funny because the streams are going up and everything, but I just kind of feel like they're taking their time with my video. I was like really one of the few first psychics. Like I just jumped into it like maybe 2 hours after this man passed away. And usually I like to give people time to breathe and everything, but he was like, yo, I'm ready. Like, I'm really ready. What info would you have for Ski? And again, I was talking about Juicewrld's message to Ski and what he had to say. And like I said, he was just kept saying like, yo, twin, put the drinks down, twin. Put the drinks down. There's other substances that I'm not going to specify that are very heavy and hard body. But he does not want him to partake in those things. He doesn't want him to partake in those things. And he's really broken up and feels very isolated and alone. And I just kind of felt like, the people that kind of got into the industry with him and were helping him, it's very important to kind of like reconnect with certain people, because I just kind of feel like, everything's a party. Everybody's just trying to like be faded through this whole experience. So what that tells me is that certain things in the music industry, it's not as fun as us regular people perceive it to be. And I just kind of feel like sometimes, it violates certain people's dignity, and it treats them like they're a product. It doesn't treat them like they're human beings. But Juice is just like, you are human. You are stronger than that. You are better than that. And I'm going to say one more thing too. I talked to a couple of people. Thank you I have my little, necklace. I put this ankh on me for whatever reason. I was just like, yeah, I'm putting on my ankh because I ain't playing with these motherfucking vampires today out here, because I ain't got fucking time. Honestly, and ever since I've been putting on my ankh, I feel very stronger. I feel like more connected in myself. And a lot of people have been asking me to like do things like spiritual things, like, oh, like I want to have a conversation with you and I want to, talk to you about spiritual shit. And I'm just like, nah, bro, you can't get my motherfucking time unless if you're paying me at this point. If people are talking to me about spiritual things, no, you can pay me. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but at the same time too, you're using my fucking energy and people are draining me, asking me fucking questions and holding me up online and not actually compensating me for what I'm fucking worth. So I just kind of feel like this ankh is kind of like putting me in balance. Like, nah, bro, we're not just gonna let people just try to take advantage of your kindness. Like, this will propel all that bullshit. So I'm putting my ankh on. I ain't playing no fucking games. So it's just crazy. Like I said, back to Ski, like, it's a very heavy situation for him, and it's, it's fucked up, but I just kind of feel like he needs to be around people that truly care and that truly love him, and to kind of give him a space of solidarity. Like he just feels very imbalanced. He doesn't feel certain about anything anymore. He doesn't feel certain about when he's gonna wake the fuck up. And like I said before, back in August, I said this shit. I was like, yo, I talked to people behind the scenes, like a couple good girlfriends here and there. I don't really hang out with that many people. I'm really to myself. It's like me and my dog and then that nigga. So it's just like, I was talking to them and I'm just like, damn, this is when I was living in Colorado, and like maybe a little bit before I moved. And I was just like, damn, like something's telling me something's up with Ski. Like I'm really concerned about him. Like I just kept seeing his birthday on an ambulance. Like, and I'm just like, yo, I don't know if he has heart complications or like has anything to do with like a stroke or seizure or anything like that or whatever. Like, but I'm just like really fucking concerned for him. And I know that I was kind of dragging him, you know what I'm saying? Like when Ja died and the whole Drake picture thing, but that doesn't stop me from being a fucking compassionate person and realizing that people make fucking mistakes. That, they fucking hate, that they fucking hate that they were so fucking stubborn, not to put their pride aside and to communicate with people and to make amends with people before it's too late. People make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I can say that now. Like, people make some fucking mistakes and it eats at them. You know what I'm saying? So, I just kind of feel like I just get a little concerned for him, like when it comes down to this drinking and specific things like that. And even I keep seeing steak liquor, and like, I don't want to say pills, but just certain powdered substances, different heavier substances that don't need to be around him. You understand? And I just get really concerned for him, but especially with the drinking. Like, I don't know why. I just got really concerned for him. And I said that shit to, to a couple of people. Like, yo, I'm really concerned for this kid, dude. Like, sometimes he's a little annoying, but I that doesn't stop me from being a good person and realizing that nobody deserves to suffer. I don't believe that anyone in humanity deserves to suffer. They could be... Well, there's certain people that do. I ain't gonna get into all that. But I'm just saying, someone like him, I just don't think that he deserves to suffer like that. And I just kind of feel like his life is kind of spiraling out of control, and people need to kind of surround him and pray for him and his family. Like, people that really love him. He needs to see life, happiness, and joy around him, because I just kind of feel like... it's so fucking hard to say, but I'm gonna say it. I just feel as if sometimes he feels like with everything that's happening between Ja and happening with Juice, he does not have the right people around him. You understand? Like, there's just certain people that will just keep the agenda or the party going, if that makes sense. Just keep the party going. And then, nope, there goes another one that's dropped. And it's so funny because all these people were around a specific manager. Isn't that kind of crazy? And now they're all dropping like flies. Like, shit don't make no fucking sense. But at the same time, too, I'm just like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. I think it makes sense to me. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, honey. It makes total sense. It makes a lot of sense. Because we all know what the kind of game that motherfucker is on. You understand? We know what kind of game that dude is on. We know what he's on. If he can't ride off of somebody else's coattails, he'll sniff up the crack ass of Drake to get other things done, because they're all informants, in my opinion. And I'm just say it like that. And I really don't give a fuck. Like, Drake can suck my dick, and you can personally send this to him. I really don't care. So I just kind of feel like, it's some bullshit. It's some straight up bullshit. And for Ski, like, he just needs people to kind of be around him and to keep his head clear. And he feels very isolated. Like, like, damn, am I next? Like, do people that I was like around, do they even give a fuck about me? Do they even care? Do they really want to put shit aside? Because they have me coming around for his for Ja's, reunion for skins and everything like that. And then now it's just fucked up. Like, it's just back to fucked up. It's just back to fucked up, and it just doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't feel right. And I just don't understand. I just feel really bad for him. I really do. I just feel like he doesn't want to move. He's like, it's like he's staring at a fucking wall, like very isolated. And he's in a lot of regret, and I just really feel bad for him, dude. I really do. I feel really bad for him, because he lost his twin. And I just keep hearing that, I lost my twin. That's my twin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure that Juicewrld and Ski probably were twins, like in another life, because they fucking look alike, dude. Like, they look so much alike, and they both kind of came up into the industry together and found each other, and then they're around each other for the whole fucking year and touring with each other, and they have like a bond. And I think maybe that was the thing with Juice, is that he was kind of like a bit of a pacifier for Ski, because it was hard when he lost Ja, like he had a lot of regret in his heart about what happened between him and Ja, and how things kind of went down, and how business got turbulent and got in the way of their friendship. And that fucked him up. Like, that fucked him up really bad. It fucked him up really, really, really bad. And I just feel like maybe Juice was just like kind of like that pacifier for him, like just a comforter, for him. Like, okay, I have another brother that I can, relate to. I have like another person that's gonna be here with me, that's gonna support me. And then they take that from him. You understand? He keeps looking at situations like, damn, why are they taking them from me? Why are they taking them from me? And he's just pissed, dude. Like, I see him like breaking shit and crying and like just keeping himself in an isolated space, and it's hard on him, dude. Like, I really feel fucking bad for him. And he's like, and this is fucking him up. Like, trust me, situation with Ja is kind of like, I don't know. Does he really feel like that? But this time it's all like slapping him in the fucking face, like heavy. And that's why I'm just like, yo, put prayers around the kid. You know what I'm saying? I hope people kind of get out of their own egos, their own beefs or whatever, their own disagreements, and they can kind of be around him and pray for him. Because let me tell you something, everybody's suffering from this. I'm not trying to say it's only him. There might be, there's a lot of people in the rap industry, music industry, that are really suffering from this man's death, from Ja's death and from Juice's death. Like, it's really fucked up, but they need to kind of come together and put their differences aside and realize that it's not, you have to understand, the industry wants to put it out there like, oh, it's like on some gang shit. You understand? Like, your label against my label, but they all fucking make money under one fucking collaborative label and do advertisements under one collaborative brand that people just are not aware of. And so they create that street mentality like, oh, your gang versus my gang, and your colors versus my colors, and your letters versus my letters. And it's all bullshit, dude. All of us are the same fucking people. We're like, fuck that. I'm asking all these fucking rappers out here, dude, and I just kind of feel like maybe this is from Ja, or maybe it's from Juice, or maybe it's from all these niggas. I don't know, but I just keep feeling like, you know what? If people just put their pride aside and made their little money, and then like low key kind of like put their own little label shit together, or put their own little music shit together, you have to disenfranchise these motherfucking people. Like, you have to try to disenfranchise these people before they take you the fuck out. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but that's just what's coming through. Like, you have to disenfranchise these fucking people. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, like, straight up, go support that nigga shit. I haven't listened to the full album just yet. Independent artist, you understand? No matter what, support his shit. Make his shit get to #1. Y'all better listen to it. Sleep on it. I don't give a fuck. Play that shit nonstop. He's an independent artist. Y'all take care of him. Look after Juice. Listen to Juice's shit. or whatever. But at the same time, too, fuck the industry, dude. Fuck the industry.